Hey guys, how's it going? Well, I'm working in the garage tonight. The cow breeder took a little horsey vacation with some of her friends, so she's off in another state out riding the trails, and I'm home working on her Equinox. So I'm doing two things here. Over here she hit a deer. That was a while ago. I kind of made it worse like that from trying to take it apart. Second, changing oil the other night, and I seen that a radiator was leaking, so I got a new radiator to put that in. And to do this job, I had to completely rip the front end off and take the radiator and all that stuff out from the front. So that's gonna be the project for tonight, or the next couple nights, whatever, depends on how late I feel like working. One thing I wanted to show you guys before I take it apart is that this car was in a previous wreck. And let me show you. Let me grab a light here quick. The reason I know this is because, look right here by the headlight. See that? I don't know if you can see that there, but there's a little black strip there. That's a zip tie. So on both sides of the headlight, below the corner of the headlight, the bumper cover is zip tied together. So that's how I know that this car was in a previous wreck. So what else am I gonna find when I dig further into it? Well, you guys are gonna find out with me. Well, see, I wasn't lying. Look at that, there's like 3 zip ties there to hold it together. I just ended up just ripping it off, but there you go, the bumper cover is laying on the ground. So now let's take the rest of it apart and see what else we find. Alright, I'm not going to get into detail on this, but I want you to get the gist of what I'm doing here. So what I got to do is the headlight's got to come off. This little plastic shrouding piece has got to come off. This has got a shrouding piece has got to come off. Then I can gain access to the condenser, the radiator, and the fans. And I'll start messing around, screwing around, trying to undo all that happy BS. But now let's get this start on this. Okay, I got a problem. So that there's a square nut that sits in this plastic part of the radiator here, and That's obviously rusted. Shot some penetrating oil on it, and I can't get it to unloosen, so I gotta figure something out there without really trying to damage it too much, even though I'm replacing. I don't want to damage the condenser part of it. The radiator I don't give a shit about because that's obviously what's getting replaced. So I'll get back to you in a minute when I get something figured out. Okay, so it's about 9 o'clock. I'm quitting for the night on this because there's a bunch of other stuff I gotta get together for tomorrow. And that's all I gotta get done tonight because I ain't gonna have time to get it done before I go to work. So I'm quitting now. I haven't come up with an idea yet. Well, I kind of have. I think I'm gonna have to cut this plastic a little bit without nicking that. Take a die grinder and cut that plastic out, and this whole bolt will slide out. That way, I should be able to get it that way. So. While I was waiting, I got the coolant drain and made a mess over there on the floor, so I'm going to try and wipe up what I can with that. And also, yeah, just keep plugging away at it tomorrow. So, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow after work when we get back to this. Okay, so here we are, a day or two later, I think. Anyway, this is where we're at. I was able to bust the plastic out of there. I just took my little torch right up there on top of my toolbox and heated it up and broke it out. Took the train lines out right there and one down below. Took the bottom radiator hose off. Those train lines were kind of a bitch to get out. And I'll kind of tell you why. You know, here in Minnesota in the wintertime, you know, we put the salt down and calcium chloride. Calcium chloride is what's more of a fucker than anything, because that's what rusts the shit out of a lot of vehicles quickly. So I wish we'd do something like South Dakota. I don't know if they just sand the road out there or what they do, but you know, you go out that way, you don't see a whole hell of a lot of rusty vehicles. And those that run demo derby, they like to go out that way and find cars, because you usually find rust-free cars. So I wish we could adopt something like that here, and maybe shit wouldn't be so corroded. But anyway, I got that out. I'm going to set you up and you can watch me try and weasel the radiator out of there. So, alright, I'll be back in a second. Alright, we're starting to go back together now. I didn't film me putting the radiator in because there was a lot of cussing and swearing going on, because trying to hold the fan shroud back and hold the condenser kind of out of the way to kind of slide in there. It was a 3-arm job, and it was a pain in the ass. I got it. Got the condenser sitting on the little slots on the front. I just got to finish bolting it in. Then I got to put the fan shroud on the back, set that in the little clips, bolt it on, put the hoses back on, the coolant hoses on, put the training lines back in, and then start bolting the body pieces back on. So let's get to it. I almost forgot. I gotta get this thing off because I need this rubber piece. So I'm just gonna have to stick this in the vise and hope like hell I can get it out. Get the vise here. Put my rag bag over here. Yeah, you guys are gonna be off camera for a minute. But this all goes well once you can get this off. And it's gonna fight me the whole way. So I'll be back after this is done. Okay, I'm back. Got the nut off, so now I need this and the bolt to put it back on. Alright, sorry I had a visitor. So I shut the camera off for a while, but I still kept working. Radiator's in, hoses are put on, shining lines are hooked up, and now I'm about to start putting antifreeze in it and check and make sure that nothing's leaking. So I got my spill-free funnel set up here. Got antifreeze in, so we're going to fill it up and start checking for leaks. Make sure I didn't screw up. And I know this whole system's going to be full of air. So I'm just going to sit and wait for it to burp itself out a little bit. I don't know if you can hear it, but you can hear it gurgling. My ears all bleeding out of it. Just want to make sure that there's no leaks down here in this bottom left corner here. That's where I found the leak originally. I'll take you to the old radiator here after this is all said and done. I'll show you where it was leaking. So bear with me a few minutes here while we get this all wrapped up. So that's not, I'll put you back over here so I can work and talk. Hope you enjoyed that nice little close-up of me. Alright, so that's burped in. I'm going to add a little more to it. Set that there. We got no leaks so far, so that's good. So I'll take you over here for a minute, the old radiator, to show you what's leaking. So, alright, so it's out of the way. Was leaking right in here where the tank meets the aluminum. Of course, you kind of see that there's a little darker here. Darker black than that, where you can tell it was wet. That's where it was leaking. So kind of right in here with a tank sandwiched to the aluminum there. It's kind of common problem for these aluminum radiators and the plastic tanks. They leak, you know, right here where the two meet together. So that's where it's leaking. So, all right. So I'm going to start this thing up, burp it. And then I'll be back and we'll go from there. Okay, I'm sitting here running it, burping the system. See the reservoir there has got coolant in it. When the thermostat opens up, that should all go down because the thermostat will open up and hopefully it'll burp the rest of the air out of the system. And then after that I can top it off and call it good, and we'll that way put the cap back on and let it pressurize, and hopefully it doesn't leak still. Alright, so I ran it for about an hour now and burped it the best it could because I know there's still antifreeze in the blockhead, so the system wasn't completely empty, but I'll get it put back together and drive it some more and then add coolant to it if I need be. But I'm going to end this video here. I'm not going to bore you guys anymore with putting it back together. So there she is. She's a runner. So I just got to put the headlights and the bumper cover on and call it good. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you when I see you.